progress. Welcome back to Play Call. How everybody doing? Bree, June. Bree, you look pretty today. I like this look on you, Bree. You look very young with this look. You do. It's
Is this
giving
for my
a nice
hair?
vibe
Huh.
though.
She does. She does more. She likes more decompressed.
She looks very young. I like it. I love it.
Oh, with my hair in like a little bun with a little
Yeah,
thing. Oh,
I
I
love it.
just I threw my hair in a bun, put my little bang swoop out, just basic. My lashes the same from the last 6 days. They're 6 days strong right now.
You look good. You look good. The camera's looking good too. It's working. June is a vampire. You know what I'm saying? He still look
I
fucking.
got that camera now.
Yeah.
It might glitch a little bit. It did that when I recorded my podcast last week. It
Uh-huh.
like I'll like glitch just a little bit here and there, but it's because I do all the moving, so it's trying to like focus on me.
Yeah. Let me see. So, but that's what's up, June. How you feeling, bro?
Feeling
June got
good,
a new
man. I am.
scenery.
I am feeling really good. Um, man, taking day to day. What about you, bro? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. I'm okay. Today's better. Yesterday I had a rough day, but today is a lot better. A lot better. Trey's moving around. I said, not Trey on three legs trying to sniff Luna's coochie because she on her period. You know what I'm saying? The damn he's on his last limb trying to be out here like an old man. Come on, girl. You know I still got it. Nigga, you can't even you can barely move. But actually he's been moving around good today. So I'm happy to see him moving around. Nikki's been doing a good job bandaging up his sores and taking care of him. So it's been he's not, he's not gonna be 100%, but at least he's not just laying there either. But yeah, I'm good. I'm good. So last weekend, y'all, let me show y'all something. Me and June happened to be in Orlando at the same time in one of the many rarities of
Oh,
us being there
snap.
together. And he saw me adding to my collection of firearms. Um,
I did. I was there to witness his addiction.
yeah, it is. And June was getting a taser for his wife. But the thing was, she wanted to try it out on him. You know, she was like, And June made a nice little joke. He said, when it's in the house, I'm gonna stand outside hitting the button till it drains completely, so she can't use it on me. So I think that was funny. But anyway, all right. Last week we had division rounds. Uh,
So we did. And
well, yeah, Bree, you can
I
go.
picked four correct. I went four for four.
Yeah, that shit, man, that is crazy.
I was the only one that picked Bills.
Not that you went 4 for 4. I think it's crazy that certain things turned out the way they did. You know.
Yeah. The all right, so the score, so the Chiefs defeated the Texans 23 to 14. Commanders defeated the Lions 45 to 31. And Eagles defeated the Rams 28-22, and the Bills defeated the Ravens 27-25.
Hmm.
Woo!
Um, I don't know. I let you lead the conversation. How you want to start it? Because
Chiefs game, I think we all picked the Chiefs because we all know that the NFL's narrative was they wasn't going to let them lose this early in the playoffs. Their first game after being the number one seed, they wasn't going to let them lose. We watched that game together. It was a lot of penalties that they called on the Texans that weren't actual penalties. Um, and the Texans got the bad end of the stick. I was going to say the other word, but bad end of the stick. But the Texans also made crucial mistakes that they shouldn't have made, that they didn't make when they played the week prior in a wild card round against the Texans.
Mhm.
And I mean against the Chargers. And I feel like if they played the same exact way they played against the Chargers, then it would have been one, maybe a different result, but a better game on their offensive side. Um, so that's just my take on the Texans and Chiefs game.
I think the Texans didn't protect CJ.
Mhm.
I think if CJ would have had more protection, it could have been a different game. Their defense did okay. I'm not gonna say that the refs cost them the game with those penalties because obviously, we don't know what the outcome would have been if they didn't have those penalties. But we know that a few of those were like on third down. I think one of them was on third down, giving them the first down and 15 yards closer. Actually, both penalties were 15 yards closer. So it doesn't really matter. That helps out. You can't give the Chiefs that. We already seen them beat the Bengals on a stupid roughing the passer call on the sideline at AFC Championship game, 15 yards closer, put him in real field goal range, and Bucker kicked it in, right? Then not to mention other games. And then if you notice in the game, if you listen, after they had the second roughing the passer call, when he slid late, the he tried to play with the defense, and as he was running out of bounds, he stopped so that he can get pushed, and then he flopped to get the call, and he didn't get it. And the announcers were like, "That's a good no call. He's just playing with the defense. When you're a runner, you're allowed to get hit. They need to change this. They need to do this." So I feel like a lot of people are starting to get tired of the Chiefs getting all these calls that so magically always go their way and helps them just win games. They're already a great team. You don't need the help from the referees to help you win. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of stuff there. But Texans, I didn't expect Texans to win. At the end of the day, they didn't have all their
Yeah, me
weapons.
neither.
You get a
Yeah.
Diggs, maybe you get a Tank Dell in there, and you got all your weapons and you can protect CJ Stroud. That's a different game. But the
Yeah.
defense, I think the defense held up long enough, before it just went left for them.
For that personal foul, it was a unnecessary roughness on Patrick Mahomes when he was the runner and
Mhm.
the two Texans players tackled him. They end up colliding into each other, but they still called that penalty on the
Yeah,
Texans.
that's when he slid late. And he slid at the
Mhm.
last minute. And what you gonna do? 300 pounds, you're already in motion. You're not stopping, you know?
Mhm. Jim, your take on the Texans and Chiefs game?
I think the Texans played a hell of a game given their what do you call it? Their injuries, right? I think they got by the Chargers, and that was kind of like a 49-51 type of game. And they went into Kansas City and they played a hell of a game. And like Frank said, just echoing what you're saying, the Chiefs are a great team, but with those calls, they make the Chiefs look amazing.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And that's the unfortunate part. There was a couple of hits and penalties, like Bree was saying, when they called on Patrick Mahomes, that if you look at those same hits and sacks that Jalen Hurts or um or
Lamar.
Lamar Jackson took, right? Those same exact hits, they were just sacks.
Mhm.
But when you flip the script, they're penalties when it comes to Mahomes. And that's very unfortunate. And even though Mahomes said the other day that he doesn't agree that the refs are on his side or whatever, um, everybody else sees it.
Stevie Wonder sees it.
Yeah. He didn't have a good game. Listen, the
No,
Chiefs
he didn't.
offense this year were bottom half of the NFL. And we can talk about that when we talk about the game that's coming up this tomorrow. But CJ Stroud had better yards than him. He just committed I think he had a turnover. Whoever one of them had a turnover, you know what I'm saying? So and Mahomes didn't. I think Mahomes threw for under 200 yards, if I'm mistaken. I think all the quarterbacks that won threw for under except
Jaden.
Jaden. Jaden balled out of control. Yeah. Mahomes threw for 177 yards, 16 completions out of 25 attempts, and one touchdown. That's a mediocre game, but they won because, and give credit to their defense. They were getting Karlofta, whatever you say his name is. He sacked the boy 3 times. He got sacked 8 times this game. Caleb Williams was number one in the league getting sacked this year. Right behind him was CJ Stroud. So the Texans, like June said, I agree. They played a hell of a game. They did the best they could do under the circumstance. They're going into, Arrowhead against a juggernaut at home. And, people can call me a hater if they want, but they do have the refs in their pocket because they're the it team. They're the team. They're the franchise. They're the face of the NFL. They're the ones that people want to see win and three-peat and all that stuff. So, at the end of the day, it's money involved, and they're the team to beat with the referees and everybody in it. So,
All right, the next game we have is the Commanders defeating the Lions 45-31. Me and June picked Commanders.
yeah, you know, the
They
number one seed to get bumped off like that. But when I was talking with Nikki, she said something that I kind of agree with. It was only a matter of time before they fall short. It just sucks that they fell short when it mattered.
Hmm.
All season we respected them, we commended them for continuing to play well and win with nothing. They lost the most players. They had two lists of over 17 players on defense out, and they still found a way to win. June, I'm gonna give credit to too. When he called him out for having all them turnovers that one game, but they still won. He
The
was like,
Texans,
yeah. He
he
said, you
had four
can't do that.
turnovers.
You can't do that against another team. And it just looked to me like they weren't prepared for this game. They weren't ready. And maybe the defensive coach and the offensive coach already had their minds in their prospective teams that they're going to go to. You know what I'm saying? So one's going to the Jets and the other one's going to, oh man,
The Bears,
the Bears.
Chicago.
So maybe their minds was already somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? And they,
No,
but
I just think of. Oh, go ahead. Sorry to
no, I
cut
was
you
gonna
off.
say I just don't think they were prepared. I think they played like ass. But credit to the Commanders, they didn't let off the gas. The defense was ready to play. I think they watched film because when they showed him when he threw them five picks, they said that in that game, they said that he struggled against soft coverage, and and that's what the Commanders were in was soft coverage. They were playing the defense that he struggled against, which kind of goes back to when the Patriots beat him in the Super Bowl when he was on the Rams and they went to I think it was man. So we've been playing zone, or we went from man to zone because he struggles in those kind of defenses. So it's like I think they studied golf and they got him. They got him. But shout out to the Commanders, belt to ass. They won that.
You
There's
did. It
no,
was
there's
amazing.
no referee helping out. There's no mixed field goal. No, they went in there. They put up 28 points in the second quarter. 28 points. Took a break in the third and put 14 more up on the ass on the
Three. Yep, and three turnovers in the second quarter.
Yep. So, you know, it, you can't let a team put 28 up on you and you only scored 14 that quarter. And they already had, you know,
And one of them was a pick six.
yeah, the pick six. Which and then, on that one, June, when we start talking about flags, he got hit in the head with a helmet. Like when he went to try to tackle the guy and he got blocked, the defender hit him with under his chin, no flag. And the commentator's like, that's a flag. And that means that touchdown wouldn't have even counted. It would have been still a turnover, but they would have assessed 15-yard penalty for roughing, for unnecessary roughness, leading with the crown. But again, that was a good game. Commanders, shout out. They earned that. Jaden Daniels played like a veteran, while Golf played like a rookie.
First of all, Frank, how are you feeling? Because when it came to that game, because you were very upset towards the end of that game and just
I
left
mean,
me and Carter to dust watching it by ourselves.
no, so yeah, I picked them number one seed. I went with the safe bet. I felt that if they got to the Super Bowl or if they got to the NFC Championship, they'll be at home. You always go with the home team, right? Um, I didn't see the Commanders. Well, I didn't see Jaden Daniels still playing. Look, I was upset because I lost out a chance of winning $6,000. So it is what it is. But that's life. But again, man, watching that game, Brown was catching everything. McLaurin was catching everything. McLaurin took a screen pass, 70 yards to the house.
He's so underrated. Like nobody really talks about him like as
No, and
he's
he's done it
so
consistently with multiple different quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I was mad I lost out on the chance of winning the money, but I was more as a fan of football and us doing podcasts about football, I was more surprised at the Commanders' ability to stop them and what the Commanders did, man. I mean, you got to give them credit. Dan Quinn, first year coaching the Commanders with a rookie quarterback. Nobody would have thought they'd be in the NFC Championship game against the Eagles. Hell, remember we all when we started the year recording, we none of us gave them a chance to be where they're at today. So I mean, look, man, that's a great year.
Yeah,
I
I
was
think
gonna say June definitely
Yeah,
did.
he did. He said sleeper. They're a sleeper. Yeah, yeah.
June did. June said that they can make some noise and make it to the playoffs this
Well,
year.
they did, bro. They in the NFC Championship game.
But no, yeah, that game was really good. I think that game kept everyone on their feet because it was back and forth, you know. It wasn't a blowout until like 5 minutes left of the fourth quarter when Detroit, to me, basically gave up. They knew they were going to lose that game. But I think I don't think it has anything to do with the coaches already having their mindset of where they're going to go next. I think it has more to do with like they've been playing so perfect because they lost their only game that they lost in week 2 or 3, right? And then they just played so perfect winning. Not even like perfect because they had some bad games where they won like by a landslide,
Hmm.
but been on this high horse that it was bound for it to come down, you know? And not trying to bring up Samantha, but the same thing happened with Sam Darnold and the Vikings. Like they were playing so well, took their only 2 losses at the beginning of the season until the last week, and they were on a high horse playing so well that it was only bound for them to make mistakes, you know? Um, but they made that mistake in the game that mattered the most, which is the divisional rounds, you know? Um, but big shout out to the Washington Commanders. They played their asses off. Big shout out to Jaden Daniels.
Hmm.
Super proud of him, especially as a rookie. He's proved a lot of people wrong. I know a lot of people picked Detroit, the number 1 seed, to win that game. I think it's amazing and cool to watch two NFC East teams in the same division battling it out for the NFC Championship title.
Hmm.
And remember the last time we had two teams from the same division in a conference championship, you know? Um, so that would be amazing to watch and fun to see.
Yeah, Jaden Downs threw 22 of 31, 299 yards, an average of 9.6 yards per pass, and two
Almost a first
touchdowns,
down every pass.
and no sacks
Mhm.
taken, none whatsoever. That's
Them big boys protected their
yeah.
quarterback.
No, I mean that's amazing. You can't, that's why I'm saying like it's I don't want to diminish anybody else's winnings this weekend or past weekend, but you got to give credit where credit's due. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that's it.
Jim?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. This podcast is like a triangle, right? Because both of you guys said something that I was gonna say, right? And I was thinking. So, Frank, you said it. One played like a rookie, and the other one played like a veteran.
Hmm.
And then Bree, I'll touch base with what you said in a second. But hey, shout out to the Commanders front office from the top all the way down, right?
Right.
And I mean, ever since Magic Johnson and them new owners they took over, it's been nothing but a change over there. Um, I mean, they put a rookie quarterback. They drafted a rookie, they drafted a quarterback in the first round that 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 is humble. He has the locker room behind him, and then they put veteran players around him, but not just veteran players. They put veteran Super Bowl winning players around him to help manage that team. And when I said in the beginning of the season that was a scary team, it was because of that right there, because of the pieces they put around him, and it worked. So the fans of Washington, they were a little upset when they hired Quinn because they wanted other coaches. But look at you guys now.
Hmm.
Um, there's two types. I'll tell you what, the damn Detroit Lions and the Commanders play the same exact defense. They pressured when they pressured. They played man when they played man, and there was one quarterback that couldn't handle it. And that same quarterback transitioned into what Bree said, played like Sam Darnold, and the other quarterback played like a above than average, sophomore. Um, and it sucks for golf in a sense because now it's like, damn, maybe golf cannot win the big games after all. Um, and that was that. I mean, you went shootout with a rookie,
Hmm.
and the rookie embarrassed you at your own house. So it's scary. The momentum that Washington has is very scary. Um, and like Frank said, man, the damn receivers were catching everything. They weren't dropping the damn thing.
Right.
Um, So it was a hell of a game. That was a very exciting game, even though Detroit lost. And but I don't know. I kind of seen it. If anything, I think Detroit should have won it last year. But you know, so that's that. So a shout out to Commanders. Um, I'm not surprised that they made it to the playoffs, but I am very surprised they made it to the NFC Championship game. And I'm not knocking it. I just think they would be there this early with the transition that they've got from ownership to players.
But one thing
Right.
too, I want to say, Magic Johnson being in the tunnel after they won and hugging all those players
Hugging them.
and
Beautiful.
bigging them up and Wagner and all that. That's ownership coming down from the box to put into it. But he's an ex-player, so he understands what that means. Like how that makes them feel. And again, I don't want to make it seem I'm happy for them. I see a lot of being in Virginia. I see a lot of people with their Commanders jerseys or the Redskins old jersey. I was at Ava's track meet and one of the parents had the earrings in and everything. And it makes you happy that they can actually root now. And on a side note, June, I think you like this. Them bum ass Cowboys still ain't make it to NFC Championship game, but the Commanders in one season with one new coach and the rookie quarterback did it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Crazy
Speaking
part is
of Cowboys,
Daniels wasn't even born
right.
yet,
yeah.
and they gave birth, and still from that point to now they still haven't won anything.
Speaking of Cowboys, it's funny because there was a tweet where someone said the AFC Championship games is always the Chiefs versus somebody. It needs to be more diverse like the NFC Championships. And then a Cowboys fan tweeted them back and said, "What do you mean? The NFC Championship games are always the 49ers, Eagles, or Cowboys?" And you know how Twitter has a fact check? It was like, fact check, the Dallas Cowboys have not made the conference championship in 27 years.
Hmm? I don't know who was talking that.
A Cowboys fan, like like their Twitter day was like the number one Cowboy fan or something.
Yeah, he's delusional.
So listen, that's Michael Parsons on his burner account.
Right, right. Or Jerry Jones on his burner account.
All right, next game we have the Eagles defeated the Rams 28-22. We'll let June take over since this is his team.
All right, hold on, give me 1 second. I'm literally pulling in, so every time I pull in, I lose service until I walk in to jump on the Wi-Fi.
All right, Frank, go first.
So I watched that game on my boy's house, and it went from not being a game to being a game. And it came down to simple mistakes on the Rams side, to be honest. They couldn't play in the cold. I think the Eagles played the better game. They didn't make the mistakes. Saquon rushed for 205 yards on 26 carries and two tutties. And they didn't make the mistakes. The Rams couldn't hold on to the ball. Rams were doing what they had to do. And guess what? They lost. They only lost by six. You know what I'm saying? And they were making a run. And shout out to the Eagles defense. Again, that sack on Stafford on that last third down, and then him pass on the fourth. And because of the pressure, he threw it away. Give credit where credit's due. Eagles defense stepped up and helped him because at one point, Stafford's throwing the ball. So Stafford had 324 yards passing.
Mhm.
So Eagles won. Um, as they should have won. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like if that maybe the weather was different, no snow, maybe different for the Rams. You know, but it worked out and the Eagles won. So I'm not mad at it. Yeah, I think it sets up a good game that we're going to see tomorrow. At 3 o'clock.
Jared Verse played a hell of a fucking game.
Hmm.
My little baby on defense just proved why he's the defensive rookie of the year. Like I told June, when you call him a rookie, you put defensive of the year with that statement. Uh, but no, that game to me was a slow game because of the weather. I think both quarterbacks had an issue with the weather when it came to throwing, really low numbers and passing yards for both quarterbacks. I feel like, and this is not a dig at the Eagles because I picked the Eagles. I was rooting for the Eagles. I actually wore an Eagles jersey
Mhm.
in honor of Bubba because TikTok got banned and then it came right back. But I feel like Saquon definitely carried the offense when it came to winning that game. Not saying nobody else played their part, they all did, but there was just the mistakes that were being made that they couldn't deliver in the fashion that we know the Eagles offense can deliver. And I think again, weather played a big part of that.
Mhm.
But also shout out to the Eagles defense as well. I hope Quinion Mitchell, he got injured in the game and didn't come back. Hopefully he's good and um, he's safe for tomorrow's game. Another beast rookie. Um, but I just and then Braden Fisk, also rookie defensive line on the Rams.
Adrian.
He got hurt and didn't come back. So praise to Braden Fisk. Um, but I just want to say just shout out to the rookies like this year. Like these rookies have been showing out, whether it's Jaden Daniels or if it's defensive rookies, like these rookies have been playing a hell of a job, especially in the playoffs, giving it their all. Another rookie I definitely want to shout out, even though they're eliminated, is Lad McConkey on the Chargers. Like these rookies in the playoffs have been giving it their all, whether they're winning or they're losing the game. So that's just my take and my point. June.
All right, settled in now. I tell you, I was excited for the snow game. I like those games. They're not your traditional games that we see every day. So seeing a game played in the snow, um, in my opinion, it will make a team that's great play very, very average because you cannot control what your feet can control under the circumstances. So and for even though I love watching those games, I hate that my team was playing that game in the playoffs. I would love to see that game in the regular, but anyway, it made it that more exciting, man. And as a fan, as a football fan, it was super dope watching that game. I think hell, I think even the players they all enjoyed it, being a part of something like that. Now uh Saquon, in my opinion, Saquon. Uh, he carried a huge part of the Eagles throughout the entire season, and for that reason alone, that's why I chose him to be the MVP.
Mhm.
A quarterback could throw the ball, yeah, he could get sacked. On the worst of the game, eight sacks a game. That's 8 hits that he's taking, right? But you're taking a running back that runs over, 180 yards or averaging however many. And Saquon is on pace to possibly get 3,000 yards in a season, right? I mean, shit, that's unheard of. And I don't think you could put a damn quarterback and vice versa. You could put a running back in some that type of position, and they're not going to get what they can. But anyway, that's why I chose Saquon as an MVP. However, you take those drop passes, that drop pass from AJ Brown opening the end zone, right? And then you take another one from Smitty that he dropped, and again, I I'm calling them out because we expect better, especially those in this level of the season. So if you take that right there, I mean, so now Jalen Hurts becomes a quarterback that threw for 128 yards for 4 touchdowns.
Mhm.
Um, and then now it's a whole different conversation. But now it's hey, he rushed for a touchdown and he threw for another one and he only had 128 yards. He cannot perform like that in the next game. But if they would have caught those two passes, the conversation would have been different. His knee, he got hit where his knee bent awkwardly, which is causing that knee brace or whatnot to be on there. But McVay said all the right things at his post conference. Hell, you said it before. The Rams are a scary team in the second half of the season, and this is not the first year. It's been like that in under McVay's tenure, where the Rams become that team that you don't want to play in the last leg of the season.
Mhm.
And that was really the main reason I was like, damn, I don't want to play the Rams. Even though we beat them in LA, I don't want to play the Rams um in the playoffs. But uh, but it was what it was, and they were down 14 points with 4 minutes left, and shit, they could have won the game if he didn't overthrow it or whatever the case was. Um, but at the end of the day, we got the game tomorrow. Um,
Caw-caw, caw-caw.
as crazy as this sounds, I would love to play the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and I would love to fucking stop that three-peat, just throw it in their face, um, and get that revenge from 3 years ago. So, hey, shout out to the Birds, Bird Gang. I'm super excited.
I need to shut up.
And you
So
know,
I'm gonna say this. I don't like how they talk about Jalen.
I don't either. I hate it. I hate it to death,
Now, he
man.
didn't throw. He didn't throw for a touchdown, John. I'm looking at the stats. He didn't throw for a touchdown.
He rushed.
He rushed for a touchdown. Yeah, I had three rushing touchdowns. Two from Barkley, one from him. Barkley had 205 yards rushing. Jalen had 70 himself. He had 7 carries, 70 yards. He was averaging 10 yards per carry. When you look at the receiving, Goddard had 56 yards. Barkley had 27. Devontae Smith 21. AJ Brown 14. Um, Goddard went 100%, 4 targets, 4 receptions. Saquon went 4 for 4. Smitty went 4 for 4. AJ Brown was set 2 of 7. You can't do that. You got to show up in the game, especially when you're like the number one wide receiver in the team. Um, so you're right. I agree. If those catches were being caught, you know, we could have had a different game. His stats would have definitely been different because if you subtract when he took them sacks, he got sacked 7 times for 63 yards. So when they net your yardage, he would have only netted 65 yards in that game passing because they subtract the sack yards from your passing yards. Um, and it came down to honestly an overthrown pass to the sideline, because we don't know what happened. He would have got the first down, stepped out of bounds, and still going. So, I don't like the way they talk about Jalen. He wins the game. He has a winning record as a starting quarterback. I think he's been to the postseason ever since he started. Um, Super Bowl appearance, NFC Championship appearances. Um, and they talk about it like he can't win. Like, I just don't like the double standard we see right now in the NFL. If Mahomes does it, oh my God, they just find a way to win. They find a way to win one score games. They're like 14-0 this season when it's one score games or whatever his record is. But anybody else does it, or they didn't play too well. It should have never been that close, or you know, another team they couldn't do that against. And I just don't like that, especially with a guy like Jalen, who's humble and modest, and he comes out there, he does his job. You know what I'm saying? Like I give him shit sometimes because I like him. You know what I
He
mean?
minds his business.
Yeah, he doesn't. You never see him do anything.
Unproblematic. He
Yeah,
got
so
a beautiful black queen.
facts. I'm not gonna say nothing. Anyway, go ahead.
All right,
I'll-
the last game we have, the Bills defeated the Ravens 27-25. Woo!
I did want to say something, but I'll save it for after we
We
get
had
done.
a collaborations of Negroes in sports and the play call all on FaceTime watching that game together.
Look, Lamar doesn't show up when it matters. That's just what it comes down to. And people could say, "Oh, well, he had a good second half." Shady McCoy said, "Don't tell me how you start, tell me how you finish." Well, you finished losing the game, right? You finished on a 2-point conversion, and we was all saying, "Well, any other time Andrews catches that." Well, damn, X showed that that same play was ran 3 previous times, and
He
all
dropped it against the
the
Steelers. He's
Mhm.
dropped it against the Chiefs. He's dropped it against the Bills, and he dropped it like he's dropped that pass with nobody around him
The
over and
pass
over.
was with Lamar threw the pass okay for a receiver to catch it.
Mhm.
Um,
It was in his hands, like he was going down with it, and it just slipped.
by the numbers, Allen didn't have a great game. But what Allen didn't do was give you a turnover, and he took advantage of what the defense was giving and what the Ravens did, right? Um, Lamar had one of his best years. He was 1-2 for MVP, and you get there and you can't win. Y'all both play in cold weather, so it's not like the Rams coming to Philly in the snow and the cold, having to get adjusted to that shit. No, both of y'all play in cold weather. Maybe you don't play in Buffalo cold weather, but you play in cold weather,
Mhm.
and it's every year the same shit with y'all. You're getting the postseason. I think if Jaden, let's say if Jaden wins this weekend, he'll have, I think, the same amount of wins in the postseason that Lamar has combined.
Mm.
Hmm.
And Dak
Hmm.
Prescott.
But Lamar's a two-time MVP,
Mm.
one unanimous. Um, and give a shout out to the Bills. The Bills, none of us knew what they was going to look like without Diggs. We had conversations where you said, maybe Josh is going to step up and carry that team, and that's what he's been doing all season. Is carry that team.
I
So,
think it's definitely stepped up,
hmm
especially with the turnovers that they had.
the Ravens play sloppy football. Lamar's fumble when he put the
Lamar
ball on the ground,
interception,
the
Mark Andrews,
interception.
Mark Andrews fumble,
Mm-hmm. They play sloppy football, and that's why they lost the game.
go for a 2-point conversion early in the game, not completing it.
I feel bad because Lamar gets up there and says, "I'm tired of this shit." You know what I mean? But you can't have turnovers and expect to win a game.
Mark Andrews had a post on his he posted on Instagram for the first time yesterday, a long post about how all he wants to do is play football and give his best, and it was really sad. But one thing that Cam Newton said, he was on with Stephen A. Smith yesterday morning, and the conversation was people were mad that Mark Andrews is avoiding the media and not talking about his drop pass that could have tied the game. Um, and Cam Newton said,
Mm.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate and I'm going to have the unpopular opinion and I'm gonna say he don't got to. He said you got people in Fox Sports that have allegations and lawsuits out and they haven't came out and addressed that
Mm.
and they going about their day.
With her peanut butter skin. You know what I'm saying?
Stephen A. Smith said, wait, what you talking about? He's, I'm talking about them Fox Sports live lawsuits. And Stephen A. Smith was like, oh shoot, like um, but yeah, like he don't have to immediately address it. And Cam Newton said, you have athletes, you have actresses, you have famous people, you have production companies. When shit goes wrong, they don't come out and immediately address the people. A lot of the times they hide their hands and hide their faces and go about their days as if nothing happens. He's like, so no, he don't have to address the media right away, especially when you don't know like what's going on with him mentally. He had a fumble and then he dropped the 2-point conversion that could potentially tie the game. His mental, he's like, especially as an athlete, when you feel like it's your fault, you know, like you're not going to want to talk to nobody. And I don't know if you watched the episode of Hard Knocks, but right after that play, he went on the bench, he was crying, and Lamar went over there and comforted him and was like, it's not your fault. We are one team. That is not on you. You're not the reason. And then after the game, they were in a locker room, and this made me tear up. Lamar was crying after losing that game. And I understand, they're in my division, that's a rival, but at the end of the day, like that's a human being, and I am a fan of Lamar, no matter how much shit I give him because he is an op, you know, but I am a fan of him. And to watch you, one, yes, you made mistakes, but give it your all and it didn't become the outcome that you wanted. It was very heartbreaking and to see the outcome of how the players felt after the game, just like when the Bills didn't make the playoffs and they all went and watched the game together and they saw that the Chiefs literally let the Denver Broncos win and not score any points just for them to not get in the playoffs and how heartbroken they were. It made
Mhm.
me sad.
Uh,
But shout out to the Bills and hopefully next year the Ravens can get it together. Lamar also said something in his press conference. It breaks his heart because not everyone's coming back to the team next year, and he really loved this group of men that he played with this year.
Mm-hmm. That's why that's when Dan Campbell asked him when he lost, and he said what he said. That's the truth. You don't get opportunities all the time, and it's
Mhm.
hard to keep teams together.
Mhm.
I'm saying, the Chiefs' success in part is because Spagnuolo hasn't left. We know Andy Reid does all the play calling in the offense. That's why they can swap out offensive coordinators and doesn't skip a beat.
Mhm.
At the nucleus, they got Chris Jones on defense. They got Patrick Mahomes on offense. And they got Kelsey. You know what I'm saying? So when you have something that sticks together and it keeps working, you have a system in place. It's going to be great. And they got the refs. So but
June, do you know how to work your camera on your iPad?
it was a sad. I don't say sad. It was
Mhm.
the heavyweight fight we was looking to see because Lamar came back in the second half, and they were moving the ball on the Bills defense. Like there was no stopping them. They just stopped themselves, and you can't do that.
I think man, Frankie said it best. He's just a glorified MVP quarterback, and that's how he's gonna be. And it's unfortunate to say because it sounds so harsh, but how many good teams are you going to have, and how many good teams are going to equate to those opportunities that we just spoke about?
Hmm.
And it's sad because now you got to restructure these contracts, try to keep the Derrick Henry. You got to now Zay Flowers. I mean, who knows what his contract is going to look like? I mean, because he's playing a hell of a game and shit. And the way that these rookies and these sophomores and these players demand shit in the NFL while being under contract is what's going to keep that team from being that team. So, and that's the unfortunate part about the contract situation. Um, and damn, Lamar, like I said, hey, the year last year, I think to me was their best year to get it. They didn't have Derrick Henry though, and I think that last year was the year that they shit the bed. And in my opinion, they should have got it. You already know going into Buffalo, it was going to be that type of environment because Buffalo has that pressure too. So
Hmm.
even though Lamar had that pressure, Buffalo had that pressure. Shit, I think them four back to back to back to back Super Bowls ever since the era, that pressure has been on Buffalo's back, which I think is keeping them from the big game. But it's crazy and scary.
I will say the Ravens lost that game more than the Bills won it. But that's what happens. And you gotta play the hand you're dealt. You know what I'm saying? And the Bills took advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? They'd have to look. Lamar, but think Josh had 127 yards passing too, bro. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Got sacked once, and that was a 1 yard. So he netted 126. That's a horrible game for Josh, but they got the win. You know what I'm saying? And notice how nobody's talking about it like they beat up Jalen Hurts for it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
when I've heard him talk about it, they'll say, "Oh, Mahomes and them threw for under this many yards, and they still won the game." The only thing they have in common is that they didn't have any turnovers. So,
Uh,
Yeah.
you know, one thing that I hate about certain offense, especially in the playoffs, is they have this 2 minute drill, right?
mhm.
Maybe you guys will agree. I don't know why this 2 minute drill can't start in the first quarter because this 2 minute drill, when you play that shit in the fourth quarter, you end up short 9 times out of 10, and that's unfortunate for the Ravens because they didn't play that 2 minute drill in the first quarter.
I mean,
They have it in right before halftime.
I mean,
But I'm talking about with the pressure that when you're down a score
Oh
or
yeah.
you're down 3 points, why do you play so hard in the last quarter when you're down 3 points when you should have been playing that hard from the
And I
first
think it's
quarter?
because if you notice in the first and second quarters of games, they play it safe to avoid injuries and stuff, like immediate injuries.
also the defense plays different.
Mm.
Buffalo knew they wasn't stopping them. So Buffalo put up 7 points in the first, so did Ravens. Buffalo put up 14 points in the second. Ravens only put up 3. In the third quarter, Buffalo only put up no points. Ravens put up 9. And then they both put up 6 points apiece in the fourth. But I think those 6 points for Buffalo was field goals, right? It wasn't touchdowns.
It was 2 field goals,
Yeah.
and
So the
no,
defense.
it was a touchdown, and the kicker missed.
Oh, okay. So, you can't. I think defenses, when it comes to that point, they're not trying to give up the big play.
Right.
They're trying to keep everything in front of them, nothing behind them. So it looks like the offense is clicking, but it's really the defense is going into a more of a, I don't want to give the game away, so I'm not going to be as aggressive. I'm not going to have the penalties cost me the game, none of that. So, but if what you're saying for America is why these teams don't have the sense of urgency that they have in the last 2 minutes of the game, they should put in the first of the game. Because
It's just like recruiting. No one has a sense of urgency until the 75 gate.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. See, that they didn't mean the NFL because I had that thing on day one. I wanted to win in the first gate.
All right. Next we have some pictures that I definitely want to share and show. Let me go ahead and do this. Hold on. Let me do that. But let me go ahead and add our photos to it. Boom. Share. Okay. Can y'all see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you're going to rank these NFC quarterbacks. So you have Baker Mayfield, you have Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, and Jordan Love.
Golf 1, Baker 2, Love 3, Purdy 4. Off this season, right? Or just
This
total?
season.
Yeah, yeah. Golf 1.
Same. Goff, Baker, Purdy. Goff, Baker, Love, Purdy.
Yeah.
No, I'll do Goff, Love, Baker, Purdy.
Okay.
The last one being the good one, right? Well, your
No,
best.
So I put
1, 2,
Purdy
3, 4.
last.
1, 2, 3, 4. The last one being the worst one.
I put Purdy last because he had a bad season this year.
So I said Goff, Love, Baker, Purdy.
I put Okay, so you put Baker third. I put him second. Okay.
I say Baker, Goff, Love, Purdy.
Okay. So we all agree that Purdy was last.
Yeah.
All right.
And it sucks in that situation, man. He just got dealt those cards. Like, you can't control the cards you dealt with sometimes.
All right, rank these AFC quarterbacks based off of this season. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and CJ Stroud.
Final four, huh?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Josh, Lamar. You know what? F it. I'm gonna go CJ third and Mahomes last.
That's what I was going. I was gonna go Josh, Lamar, CJ, Mahomes.
And
based off of their play skills this season, June. That's what we're doing. Not off of records.
No. So all right. So what I'm saying is, or what you're saying is, the fourth one is the worst one.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, you guys are gonna kill me for saying this.
Okay.
All right, Mahomes,
Number 1. Okay.
Josh, Lamar, CJ.
Okay. Okay, Pickford.
Right.
No, you got to be honest with the situation.
Kidding.
You got
June, he's not even in the top.
Patrick Mahomes played so fucking shitty this season.
Yeah.
He played.
They won based off of their defense and penalties that allowed them to win games at the last seconds. He has not performed the way he's performed in years prior.
Bree, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
A wise quarterback once said, I execute the plays as best as I can that are given to me.
And he ain't execute them well enough.
Just saying.
All right, Jaden Daniels is 1 win away from history. a rookie quarterback has never started the Super Bowl. So he already defeated the Bucks in a wild card round, defeated the Lions in the divisional round. NFC Championship game, he can defeat the Eagles and then make it to the Super Bowl as the first rookie ever to start in a Super Bowl game. Makes me want to low-key root for him.
Well, I guess we're going to talk about the upcoming game, so I don't want to
Yeah,
say
we are. Mhm.
we can tie that with this later on, but yeah. And he doesn't look like he has pressure. When you see him playing the game, he looks calm,
He
cool,
look like a
collected.
little shit to slaw. He look like a little shit to slaw.
Hmm. He's just chilling.
If you had the first overall pick in the 1999 draft, who would you take? Williams, McNabb, Kearse, James, Porter, Holt, Bailey, or other?
McNabb.
Okay. You want some other notable names from the 1999
Yeah.
NFL draft? Okay, 1 second. So, more notable names from the 1999 NFL draft. We have. Okay, how about you tell me who it is and not just the position? Okay, I got it. So you had, of course, Donovan McNabb's in there. Holt's already up there, right? You got Terry Holt. You had Ricky Williams, running back. You
He's there.
had, oh, he is there?
Yeah.
Okay. Troy Edwards, wide receiver. John Tate, offensive tackle. Anthony McFarland, defensive tackle. Damian Woodley. Matt Stinchcomb?
Yeah, don't worry about him.
Yeah. I mean, those are Reggie McGrew. Is he up there? No.
I think I'll go with see, the reason I would go McNabb is because you want a quarterback. Ricky Williams is dope as a running back, but he couldn't stop smoking weed, so they put him out the league. Porter, we know what he did on defense. Great. Bailey, too. You know what I'm saying? Holt, Super Bowl winning wide receiver. Edgerrin James, Super Bowl winning running back. Yeah, I go McNabb.
Where do you go out with your friends?
Yeah, I'm gonna go
You did.
the OG Joey Porter.
I need help with that.
Okay.
Who was the worst draft pick in NFL history?
Starts with a J, ends with a R.
Jalen Rager?
He's number 2. No, I'm kidding. He's not number 2, but we could agree with that quarterback.
You mean Jamarcus Russell?
Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah.
Ever since they said, I don't know how true that is, but ever since they said what they said about they gave him blank tapes and he came back and said the defense played a hell of a, we got, I said, golly, what?
But he talks about his time in NFL while he was on the Pivot podcast. The only one I've ever seen him do was the Pivot podcast. And he talked about it. And a lot of stuff wasn't his fault. But you can't be great if you don't practice and do what you got to do, you know?
Right.
Yeah. I will also throw in there Johnny Manziel.
Another one, yeah.
Do you really think he was bad, or do you think he was just in a horrible organization around him?
Oh, June, his
Oh.
addiction to
He
alcohol.
wasn't even, he didn't
I
get
mean, I ain't saying he wasn't like bad, but do you think the influencers around him was no help being in Cleveland the way that he was?
I don't think it had anything to do with the team. I just think it has because he was kind of like that in college too when he played at Texas. He just, like it got worse when he made it to the NFL.
Oh, he says it. He was on the shop, the LeBron's little podcast joint with Mav Carter and them, and he talked about his time. Like he would fly to Vegas,
Right the night before a game,
Mhm.
and go get drunk,
Yeah.
and then fly back to Cleveland then 2 hours before the game starts.
I mean, that's pretty wild. I ain't saying it's not wild. I'm just saying it's pretty wild.
That's wild. All right, best passer ratings this season: Lamar Jackson 121.6, Jared Goff 113.6, Joe Burrow 109.8, Baker Mayfield 107.6, Samantha Darnold 106.4, Jalen Hurts 103.7, Josh Allen 101.4, Tua 101.4, Jaden Daniels 101.2, Derek Carr 101.0.
And look, Jalen and Jaden, NFC Championship game. Lamar home, Goff home, Burrow didn't even make it to the dance. Baker home, Sam home, Allen's
Tua,
AFC. Tua still concussed, and Derek Carr. Nobody knows what's going on with him.
crazy. But it's crazy to have 101 passer rating and only play like 6 games this season, you know?
Yeah, he shouldn't be up there. Be honest with you.
Right? I hate when they do that.
All right, 4th and goal and down by 4. 1 pass to win a game. Your first initial is your quarterback. So my first initial being B, my quarterback is Drew Brees. Do you think I'm winning a game?
Yeah,
Okay. Frank, Peyton Manning. Do you think you're winning a game?
of course.
June, Aaron Rodgers.
No,
No, no, hell no.
Nikki's is Jamarcus Russell.
no. She's O. It's Derek Carr.
Oh, Derek Carr. If she goes by Nikki, she's Jamarcus Russell.
Wow, she should have looked on both ends.
If we do last names, she's Mark Sanchez.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm also Mark Sanchez. Frank, you're Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
And June, you're John Elway.
Oh, I got a good shot. Shit, that's John Elway right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what past NFL player would dominate in today's NFL game?
I'll just go and take a stab at it. I'll go with Calvin Johnson.
Green. Yeah, Calvin Johnson would. I said Mean Joe Green. Mean Joe Green will get penalties left and right. He get ejected from the games. So dominate. I'll say Troy Polamalu.
I'll say Dan Marino.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say one more, and that's just based off of the O line nowadays. And I'm gonna go with Adrian Peterson. I've always been a fan of AP.
Mm-hmm.
That dude was a machine back then, and I could just only imagine, if he was still around.
Imagine Barry Sanders on the lines today.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, man.
That would be crazy. All right, old or new, which generation of quarterback you're taking? But I'm gonna do a little different because we already had this picture before. Are you taking old Tom Brady or current Patrick Mahomes?
You know where I'm going. Tom
Tom.
terrific. You know what I'm saying?
Old Aaron Rodgers or now Lamar Jackson?
I think it's a push. The only thing Aaron got is what, 2 more MVPs and a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I gotta go with Aaron.
Yeah, that's why I was going to go Aaron Rodgers. Okay, old Peyton Manning or current Josh Allen?
Going Peyton.
Yep.
Old Drew Brees or current Joe Burrow?
You know, I'm going Joe Shiesty.
I'm going Drew Brees, Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
If that's the case, you're going all old because the only motherfucker with a ring underneath is Patrick. So we might as well say old. So here's what I'm gonna tell you.
Old Russell Wilson or new Jaden Daniels?
Jaden Daniels.
No, I would go old
Not
Russell.
current Russell, old current.
Oh,
like,
I thought you meant like old in age.
no, old,
I'm
like
fucking
prime. Sorry.
I'm fucking with you. I said that on purpose.
No. So I'm gonna tell you why I would go with all the old quarterbacks.
Every single one of them have Super Bowl ring.
That too, and I think the competition was a lot different then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Aggressive.
They were aggressive. Defense. You look at who you got up there. I mean, Aaron Rodgers for where he's at now was not the Aaron Rodgers of then. Brees, he was throwing for 5,000 yards with no receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And Russell he played well, until he didn't. And it's something you said, like in that post, how, back in the day, you had different teams going to the, like Shady McCoy said, the years that Brady was still winning in New England, you still had Ben got a ring, got 2 rings in that time, Flacco got a ring. Who else?
Peyton.
Yeah, Peyton got 2 rings.
Are we talking about the AFC side?
Yeah, well, no, I'm talking about in general. Yeah, AFC side, Peyton got it, and then if you go NFC side, you got Eli, Nick Foles got one. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Aaron
you
Rodgers or Breeze, or you already
exactly
said
you had other people still winning. Yeah, the Patriots went to 8 straight AFC championships, but they didn't go to 8 straight Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? So
or
you
not.
had teams,
Pittsburgh came in.
and you got teams that took them out and stopped them. So I think that the old is always going to be something I hold dear,
Hold dear and near to my heart.
because they are. I can't repeat what Carter said about piss. What is it?
Oh,
The
I'll tell you right now what she
when she wrote that in the text.
said. A fucking pocket rocket piss missile throwing machine.
Yes, yes, those what those guys were, man. And you know what's crazy is that every one of those quarterback has the throws that Mahomes made today. They all have done at
Yeah.
one point or another. You know, the reason I would go Burrow in some of these is because of that reason that he holds that quality. I think Lamar and
She
Josh
said
are.
that about Burrow.
Hmm?
She was talking about
Yeah, that's
Burrow.
what she was talking about. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying is like to me, but the old is always going to be good. I mean, you know,
All right, $10 to build your playoff roster. Quarterbacks, you have Josh Allen, Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, Jaden Daniels, Matthew Stafford. Running backs, you have Saquon, Derrick Henry, Jahmyr Gibbs, Joe Mixon, Isaiah Pacheco. Wide receivers, you have Amon-Ra St. Brown, Nico Collins, Puka Nacua, Khalil Shakir, Rashad Bateman. Tight ends, you have Travis Kelce, Sam Laporta, Mark Andrews, Zach Ertz, and then Dalton Schultz. $10.
$10.
Yep.
It's easy. Hey, Jaden Daniels,
Okay.
Saquon Barkley,
Okay. 7.
um, Shakir, and Schultz.
Okay. I'm gonna go Lamar Jackson for 4. Jahmyr Gibbs for 3. That gives me 7. And I'm gonna go Rashad Bateman and then Zach Ertz. 10.
That's $20 right there.
That's 10.
All right, go ahead.
Hold on, shit, I messed myself up.
Frank, Frank was
Total
really, hey, Frank was really at 20. It's like
was at $87.
Because I went in my
it's somehow
head.
50 cents somehow.
Oh, I
I
ain't.
guess it's
So
$10.
give me Shakir and then Laporte. So I'm gonna go Stafford, Gibbs.
Okay.
That's 4.
Uh-huh.
Shakir is 6, and
Uh-huh.
Laporte is 10.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Which NFL logo is missing? You guys got 10 seconds to look at this. 10, 9,
that's not even fair.
7, 6, 5, 4. June's not even looking. 3.
Is the New York? Nope, not mine.
All right. You have 10 seconds. Go. 10. Don't say answer until I'm done. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What team is missing? You got one guess.
Patriots.
No.
Saints.
Frank. No. Saints is
Oh, right
in,
there next to it. You know what? It's too many to track, yo.
it's the Miami Dolphins.
That's what I said.
So always go divisions starting with AFC North, South, East, West, and you'll figure it out, you know?
That's what I was trying to do in my head, but it's just too much.
Here's 10 seconds, Bree.
Choose one wide receiver duo. Lab McConkey and Quentin Johnson, Nico Collins and Robert Woods, GP and Calvin Austin, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims Jr., Amari Cooper, Khalil Shakir, Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Terry McLaurin, and OZ, Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan, Jay Jettis and Jordan Addison, Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. All
Damn.
right, pick one. So you're gonna pick one duo, like for sure, and then one like sleeper duo, one dark horse duo. So you're gonna pick two. So you're gonna pick one that is like They're amazing. And then one dark horse that like people are slept on them. So I'll go first. I'm gonna go Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison as a given. And then my dark horse sleeper pick is Jaden Reed and Romeo Doubs.
Okay, so since you took the first one I was going to use,
No, you can pick whatever.
no, I know, but I don't want to repeat the same one. I want to make it, so we can talk about it if we wanted to. I'm gonna go Puka and Cooper as the obvious one, and then
Mhm.
I'm gonna go Terry McLaurin and OZ as the second one, the sleeper one.
Yeah, those are good. All right, June, your turn.
So the good ones that I'm gonna go, the obvious one, right?
Mhm.
Eagles.
I'm not even gonna do that, but just because you said that, I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
You're a homer. Just the fuck up.
Just because. And then I think the sleeper ones that I'm gonna go with is I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with Sutton and Mims.
They're really, really good. If Quentin Johnson didn't have a lot of drop passes, I was gonna go Lad McConkey and Quentin Johnson.
Yeah.
If they took Quentin Johnson out and just had Lad McConkey and Lad McConkey, they would have been mine.
Yeah.
But I think they're all great wide receiver duos, you know. Nico Collins and Robert Woods. Robert Woods really stepped up once Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs got hurt. We already know George Pickens is talented, and Calvin Austin definitely stepped up this season a lot. Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, also a great duo. I think all of these are great. Courtland Sutton and Marvin Mims Jr., amazing, incredible. Amari Cooper and Khalil Shakir. Amari Cooper got on the Bills halfway through the season and has been balling. Jalen Reed's Romeo Doubs. They were my sleeper pick because I feel like they are super talented wide receivers. And again, like nobody really talks about them a lot, especially Romeo Doubs. Like he's fucking incredible. He's incredible. And I think that Jordan Love has two great wide receivers with that duo. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. Can't even really say anything about them. They're great, you know? Terry McLaurin and Ozzy, another great sleeper duo. Like I stated earlier, nobody talks about how great Terry McLaurin is. And I feel like he needs to be in conversations a lot. Mike Evans, Jalen McMillan. Jalen McMillan is only a rookie, but he has improved, especially with homeboy getting hurt. I forgot his name.
On what team?
What's his name? Chris.
Godwin.
What's his first name?
Godwin. Chris Godwin.
Chris Godwin. Okay, yeah. With him getting hurt, Jalen McMillan being a rookie, it took him like 2-3 weeks to really get in there. But once he got in there, he was amazing for the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison again. They're incredible. I think Jordan Addison coming back and just dominating. Also amazing. And Puka Nacua and Cooper, like they're all great. I would take all of them, all 12 duos on Pittsburgh. Let's cut 12 people off of our second string and just add all 12
Right.
duos, all 24 of them. In Pittsburgh, we found our wide receiver core.
Yeah, right.
All right, next. All right, Rookie of the Year for the NFL Pepsi Rookie of the Year. These are our nominees for the NFL Pepsi Rookie of the Year. You have Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, Bo Nix, Brock Bowers, Brian Thomas Jr., and Bucky Irving. Who would you pick as your NFL's Pepsi's Rookie of the Year?
Jaden Daniels.
Okay, June.
Yeah, hands down.
For me, yes, he's amazing. He's my number two. Mine will go Brock Bowers. I think Brock Bowers delivered an 8 this year.
He did. He did. He did. Um, but he looks like he's 30-something years old.
It looks
No,
like this
just his
Drew
hair.
Brees, low key,
Hair.
right?
He's young. He's a baby. It's just it's his the hair got to go. He gotta cut that off.
If you put a little patch on his right cheek, he'll look like Drew Brees.
Yeah.
You know that the little scar that Drew Brees got. That's
Mhm.
not talking about it, but hey,
The last time each team won a Super Bowl, and the teams that never won a Super Bowl. Now on this list, on the teams that have never won a Super Bowl, we have the Buffalo Bills. Do you think that they have potential of winning this year?
Um, the Buffalo Bills, I think, always have a potential of winning. It's whether or not they're gonna do it. I feel like if we're gonna talk about this, are we gonna transition into the picks or the upcoming games, or we got more pictures?
We got the NFL honors nominees were released 2 days ago.
Well, so yeah, I think the Bills can win a Super Bowl.
You didn't take it.
I think they can.
So what are you gonna ask me to know?
Wait,
All right,
Dad,
so we have the NFL honors nominees. These are your
who won, the
50
Chiefs
nominees
or
for the NFL honors.
the
So we have
whoever they were
for
voting?
the NFL most valuable player, we have quarterback Josh Allen, quarterback Joe Burrow, quarterback Jared Goff, quarterback Lamar Jackson, and quarterback Saquon Barkley.
Running back Saquon Barkley.
Or running back Saquon Barkley. I said quarterback. Joe
So they
Burrow.
actually have Joe Burrow up there. That's dope. I like seeing that.
I think Joe Burrow should get it.
I think he should. 4,918 yards, 43 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions. It wasn't for his freaking defense. Who knows?
And my second close pick will be Saquon.
I also think Saquon should be up there as well because, not to knock Josh Goff or Lamar, but I think any Eagles fan will tell you Saquon is the reason they are where they are this year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And when you look at what the term MVP stands for, most valuable player, if we take Saquon off the Eagles, are the Eagles as where they have been as dominant as they were this year? We don't know. But we do know that since Saquon got there, that team is, I mean, he put up 300 yards in a game, all purpose yards. 300. And I think if we go back to that week, we'll look at some teams that didn't even have 300 as a whole team. He put up 300 by himself. That's just amazing. So, yeah, I like that.
True.
Yeah, I agree. Frank and I were talking earlier, and I asked Saquon. Um, he's on the verge of possibly having 3,000 yards as a running back, obviously, this year, this entire year. 3,000 yards, I mean, he has more miles than some Hondas, some cars, So,
Comeback player of the year. Joe Burrow, Sam Darnold, J.K. Dobbins, Christian Gonzalez, DeMar Hamlin.
I don't even know why DeMar Hamlin's still on this.
that's
It's a
so
fucking joke. It's a joke. You know, Joe Burrow, yeah. I mean, he came back, played well. Probably had the best season he's ever had. And look, they were, the Chiefs forfeiting a game damn near away from making it to the postseason. So,
I'm going. Sorry, I'm so loud because I didn't break.
it's true though. I don't know why the fuck he's there. I don't know why he's there.
it pisses me off. It really pisses me off.
It does. It does because honestly, why Saquon up there?
No, wait, listen, because Carter, we were talking about this in a chat, and we were like, it's been 3 years. Why is he still up there? And Carter said they're probably going off of that one catch he had, that one block pass he had. And then Jalen said maybe that interception that he thought he picked off, but it was actually an incomplete pass. Remember, he was celebrating with the fans, and it was
Oh yeah.
Say he jumped in the stands and shit.
Christian Gonzalez is another good one for me too.
That is a really, really good one.
Yeah, and he had a great year. So I mean, all right.
I think Sam is also a good one, coming in there, not even going to be the starting quarterback. JJ McCartney he was supposed to sit behind the rookie. Came in there, led the team to the playoffs of 14 win season. Like I think they're all great. J.K. Dobbins came in, dominated for the running game for the
Mhm.
Chargers. That definitely helped them win a lot of games as well. I think they're all great picks, and I think four of them are all great picks. I have to fix that. I think four of them are all great picks, and I wouldn't be upset if any of the four. Christian Gonzalez came back from a season-ending injury last year and came back and was in the top three for cornerbacks and stats. So I think they're all good. I think all four of them are good.
Hey, real quick, Schefter put out for all those complaining that the Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes gets too many calls, relief soon could be on the way. NFL Replay Assist is expected to expand this offseason into plays that could include the quarterback slide, league sources told ESPN. The NFL enacted Replay Assist in 2021 to allow replay officials and designated members of the officiating department to assist with on-field calls in limited game situations. Now, additional elements could be added to this offseason, especially after replay assist came into question in the third quarter of last weekend's AFC divisional playoff game when Mahomes scrambled out of the pocket, slid to the ground beneath two lunging Texan defenders, and still drew 15-yard penalty on Houston for unnecessary roughness. So
Mm,
I'm telling you, people are getting tired of it, and it's costing a lot of the ex NFL players that are on TV are talking about it. Um,
mhm.
Also, the OC for the Bills is staying with the Bills. He took his name out of the running for the head coaching job with the Saints.
Mm. Coach of the Year: Dan Campbell, Dan Quinn, Andy Reid, KOC, and Sean Payton.
I'm gonna tell you right now, in my opinion,
Dan
I would have said Dan Campbell, but I'm gonna go Dan Quinn. What he did this year as a defensive head coach with with a rookie quarterback, I think is dope.
hmm I like Dan Quinn. I like Dan Campbell. I also like Kevin O'Connell. And I kind of, you know what? I'm not mad at Sean Payton, either. Especially how he developed Bo Nix this season as well. June?
Um, it's really crazy, man. But I gotta go with Andy Reid. He's on the verge to do something that a coach has never done before. And even though and he's doing it with the mediocre season last year and coming and bouncing right back, making the move they have to make and continuing to make plays with what they have when they have, whether they're good circumstances or bad one. And I think we can all agree that, going to a Super Bowl is not easy.
No.
So the reason I go with Andy Reid is because of what he's about to do if he does do it.
Okay. Assistant Coach of the Year: OC Joe Brady, OC Ben Johnson, DC Aaron Glenn, DC Brian Flores, DC Vic Fangio. I'm gonna go
This
with
is
Brian
tough.
Flores.
It ain't tough. It ain't
Brian
tough.
Flores,
You know where you guys got to go.
Brian Flores turned that fucking Minnesota Vikings defense around and around and around. He did his big one with that defense.
Yeah, but you got Ben Johnson there. You got Aaron
And
Glenn.
no, they're all good. They're all good.
But I'm gonna go Vic
Real.
Fangio, and here's why. We have it recorded somewhere. I know we do. When June was complaining about this guy Vic Fangio that he never heard of, and the defense not playing well in the first half of the season. But after the bye week, it seems like the Eagles defense went from not being number one to number one in almost every statistical category because
Mhm.
of Vic Fangio. So unlike June, I knew who he was. I'm gonna give him his credit. June didn't know, Eagles fans out there. So don't let him do the fly Eagles fly business because
Bro,
he did not know who Vic Fangio was.
he was supposed to sign with us before he signed with Miami. And that just put a bad taste in my mouth, pause, because of that right there. And then he coming back. I'm like, this motherfucker didn't want to be with us last year. So
Let that pain go. Let that hurt go, June. Let it go. Because he's
took it
got you guys.
personal. Took it personal. We
He's
was
got you
last
guys in
place
the
last year in
championship.
defense.
Okay. Offensive Player of the Year: Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley. This is a good one. This is good. This is
This
good.
sucks because we know Burrow's not going to get MVP, but we also know that Saquon's not going to get it either. So, do you not give it to one of these guys because, like You can give it to
Or you also have Jamar Chase, who's Triple Crown King.
exactly triple count. And
That's why I said this is good, but it's hard.
I think I might go Jamar because how many triple crown winners have they been in the history of the NFL? I think it's like 5.
No, I think like 12.
I think there's more 2,000-yard rushes than there is triple crown winners.
There's a total 17.
Also, no, there's definitely less 2,000-yard rushers. 17, right? So how many 2,000-yard running backs? That's right. Sterling Sharp was in 92.
There's 9. O.J. Simpson, Eric Dickerson, Barry Sanders, Terrell Davis, Jamal Lewis, Chris Johnson, Adrian Peterson, Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, so you have to. I might go with Barkley on that one then. You know what I mean? It's only 9. I mean, you can't go wrong with either one.
Either.
You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's not fair, man. It's not fair. You know what I'm saying, guys? Not fair. All right, yo, let's go.
Okay, next one. Defensive Player of the Year: Myles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson, T.J. Watt, Zach Bond, Patrick Surtain.
Should be Trey Hendrickson. He led the league in sacks.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that matters as a defender. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still can't get past the fact that TJ Watt's a linebacker.
I still can't get past the fact that T.J. Watt had hit 100 sacks and the youngest to hit a youngest in the least amount of games to hit 100 sacks.
That's
So
good.
it's my baby. You baby. Yeah. So June, it was a podcast. It was just me and Frank on it. And we were doing like the linebacker, like Mount Rushmore. And we did like old and new. And I put linebacker. And Frank was like, TJ Watt's not a linebacker. I'm like, he is a linebacker. He had to look it up himself.
Yeah, because you don't ever play. I don't ever see him. He's always on the line. He is always on the end. Well, I guess that's what happens. It couldn't. When you're that good.
Oh man, I think Zach Bond is
He's been
he
showing up.
is you talk about folks that don't get enough credit this year until you're watching the game, and that's the only time they talk about him when they're watching the game. You don't hear shit else about him. I mean, we're talking a guy that signed for less than $3 million to prove himself. So I mean, can you imagine the type of contract he's going to probably? I don't know if he's going to demand it, but the type of contract that he's earned at the end of the season, I think it's going to be crazy. And we got to be able to work with those numbers at the end of the day.
I get it. And he was really, really great. June is picking every Eagles player to win.
No, I'm dead serious about Zach, and you could agree with it.
But I said it. I said he's playing fantastic. He's playing phenomenal. He just need to keep his helmet on, and we like him.
Oh gosh.
All right, offensive rookie of the year. You have Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Brian Thomas Jr., and Brock Bowers.
Daniels, Bree. He's in the NFC Championship game. Jaden
Yeah,
Daniels.
I know. But I said for the Pepsi one, I would pick Brock Bowers because for the NFL honors, I will pick Jaden Daniels,
Mm-hmm.
So Pepsi, that's why I picked Brock Bowers for the Pepsi one. All right, defensive rookie of the year. You have Braden Fitz and Jared Verse, both my little FSU babies. Jared Verse is my pick. You got Chop Robinson, linebacker for the Miami Dolphins, Cooper DeJean, and then Quinion Mitchell. I'm going Jared Verse. That's my pick. He's fantastic. He's been amazing this entire season. Braden Fitz too. I think all of them have been great, but Jared Verse that's my pick. I'm team.
I'm going Mitchell. I'm gonna give Mitchell some love. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He did good. He's been doing good. So
June.
I'm gonna go with Mitchell too. If he only had one interception in the entire season, and really, to me, it speaks volumes. Nobody's throwing it your way for you to get that type of opportunity to keep picking you off. So that's just the way that I see things when it comes down to that.
All right, and the last picture we have before we get into our predictions, these 4 quarterbacks. You have Bo Nix, you have Drake May, you have his name's not Derek May, it's Drake May June.
You didn't give me the opportunity.
And you have Michael Penix Jr., and then you have Caleb Williams. Now, out of these 4 rookie quarterbacks, which one do you think is going to have a breakout second season?
Scary. It's loaded.
think Michael Penix. He came in at the very, very end of the season. Definitely played well and developed well, but it wasn't enough because of how late they started him, if that makes sense, you know? Um, and I think he is the future for the Atlanta Falcons, in my opinion. I think he's incredible. The 3 games that he played, again, he didn't have a chance to showcase a little bit earlier and fix those mistakes a little bit earlier, but he played amazing. He played outstanding, you know? I think all of them are great. Drake May too, depending on how Mike Rabel is going to do with that offense and that team this upcoming year. But my pick is Michael Penix because we already know Drake May is good, you know? June,
But your question was who's going to have a better year next year, right?
who's gonna have no who's gonna have a breakout second year?
Mm-hmm.
Mine is Michael Penix. I
I,
didn't say who's gonna be better than the rest, like who's gonna have like a breakout year.
I'm gonna go with Bo Nix. I think he showed wild potential this year, and they're gonna capitalize on that next year. You know, given their situation over there in Denver. I mean, you got to give this dude credit. He played because if he would have made it to the AFC, we would have been talking about him like we would have been talking about Jaden Daniels. And I think, you know, another key piece in the development of the Denver Broncos is going to really, in my opinion, give him that title as the breakout.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go honestly, I was gonna go with Drake, but I think I'll go with Bo, man. I think, like you said, I think Sean Payton's gonna build on that. And I think that some people out there saw what he can do, and he's only gonna get better next year. They're just in a tough division, though. That's the only thing that sucks about it,
Mhm.
because they got the Chiefs. So it's like, you know, anybody plays in the West is in the AFC is just they might as well just I don't know, cut his brake lines or something because he's not
Yeah.
he's not going nowhere anytime soon.
And that is all the pictures we had today. I think those were great pictures. I think those were great pictures. I'm loving doing Zoom on my MacBook, y'all. Like, y'all don't understand, like, this right here. Then I got the split screen. I got the photos on this side. So as I'm sharing my screen with y'all, I can see y'all on my MacBook, and in my additional screen, I have
Mhm.
the photos.
It's nice, doesn't it? It feels good to have two screens. So
So amazing. June, you gotta step it up. Come on, do 2 screens next. You already got this set up. You just gotta do 2 screens. You gotta get a little desk.
You know, so another group, you know, we'll talk about it offline, but it's going to be a coincidence, right? That's what it's called. Coincidence is it's a coin podcast.
mhm.
So once that finished getting solidified, and I get that second screen and ping you guys for the resources.
Mm, okay.
Okay. Now, last but not least, we do have our picks for the conference championships. The first game that we do have during this conference championship weekend, starting tomorrow, is on Sunday, February or January 26th. We have the Commanders at Eagles. I'm going Eagles. That was good.
Going Eagles.
Right, you have to have emphasis. Where are you going?
No, I'm going Eagles.
You gotta have. You see how I was hyped. You gotta go.
Well, I thought we was going to talk about it a little bit, so that's why I was like, "Oh," but yeah, I'm going Eagles. I don't see the Commanders to win. They gotta try to stop Saquon or contain him
And
and
then
force Jalen to throw the ball. And I was listening to somebody, and the times that Jalen has lost the game is when he's thrown the ball more than he normally does.
mm-hmm.
And if they can get him to do that, especially when you have AJ Brown dropping passes, which is crazy, it could be a good game for the Commanders. But
It was
I
a
don't see that happening.
It was the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that defense is just way too powerful. I'm sorry, that Eagles defense is just way too powerful.
Saquon's
Um,
gonna have a good day.
he is. He's gonna have some fun.
But I
June,
will say this though, before June goes, like Ryan Clark said, like Bart Scott said, like all these defensive players said The minute he runs, I'm going for his thigh board. I'm hitting him on his leg every chance I get. Not his kneecap, not taking him out, but making him think twice about running that ball. You know what I'm saying? Because he's hurt.
So the Commanders DC,
Mhm.
right? Joe Witt said, we're going to hit him that way. That's their decision. If they want him to get hit that way, he's going to get hit. Talking about Jalen Hurts.
As a runner, he said, "I'm gonna hit him." They're gonna hit him as a runner.
So Seth Joyner, right? He said, how did I miss this? What defense's objective is to not hit the quarterback if he runs and punish him if he tries to get the max? Captain Obvious, I can smell the fear in your statement. Believe me, he knows that's all it takes, Jalen Hurts, to get hurt if he gets hit. And also for Saquon for go to 200 yards.
Mm-hmm.
That this is Seth Joyner. He said, you're threatening the QB not to run and make your job easier. What a bitch move midweek. If I'm gonna bust your ass, I'm just gonna do it. I'm not gonna forewarn you. I see through the bullshit, Coach Witt, and others can't. If you're scared, get a dog. By the way, that treat your QB like a running back bullshit goes both ways. So Jaden Daniels is a runner.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Daniels was put
Yeah,
out
he did
this.
college too.
He was, and again, this ain't taking away. Not saying that I don't like it. I tell you, I'm a fan, but he is a runner. He was hurt this season when he got hit in the ribs. So I think. Did you guys think before? Obviously, I'm going Eagles. Do you think as a DC, would you guys put some out there like that?
It depends. It depends, right?
But
Because
emotions are brewing. This is the
yeah,
game that's going to take you to the Super Bowl. Emotions are high, emotions are brewing. You also have to think this is a divisional rival. You have two teams in the AFC East. That is like your op. That is the one person you're going to talk cash shit about. So emotions are high, tensions are high. It also makes for great media and it also makes for a good like suspense before a game starts.
I think it's more to get in the head of your team. That's all it really is. It's a
Get
chess move on the offensive coordinator. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? So I don't disagree with it. But then again, I don't like talking shit. So to me, I probably would never have said nothing and let the tape speak for themselves. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for example, they go out there, they stop you guys, they beat you guys tomorrow. Then I would be like, hey, you know what? Our game plan was the minute he comes out the pocket, I told my guys to hit him like a runner, and that's what we did. It worked. I watched the tape from this game, and that's what we did. Because now he goes out there and they don't hit him. He slides. He beats them throwing the ball. Now he looks stupid because you said something that had nothing to do with the game in the first place because he didn't even do it. You see what I'm saying?
And not to mention, I mean, if I'm the ref, if I'm one of the refs for tomorrow, and I just heard you say that, and he does go down, and it may not be like a hit, but guess what they're doing nowadays, man? They're throwing flags for anything, right?
Yeah.
So now me being a ref, I'm like, damn, well, thanks for making my job easier because now I got to look for you being too aggressive on a quarterback and try to take him out.
The truth is, June, that the game that they're going to do that for is the game that's coming on afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Any other quarterback in the league, they don't give a shit. And then it's two black quarterbacks going against each other in Trump's America. They're not throwing no flags, bro.
Right. Hey, they're gonna leave the flags at home.
It's gonna be a straight hit every time. Damn, look, he took his kneecaps out. That's not a flag. That's a clean hit. No, it's not. Anyway, I'm being funny, but I agree. The refs are gonna pay attention, and that's fine too. Listen, people make mistakes sometimes. The pressure gets too hot. Like Bree said, tempers are flying. People, a lot of people are talking trash about them that they shouldn't be there in the first place. That
They already decorated Rocky Balboa statue in Commander's gear. That's a curse, just like the terrible towel curse. If
So
you believe in a terrible towel curse, you believe in a Rocky Balboa curse, and vice
I'm
versa.
trying to tell you, like it's a lot going on. So we'll see. I'm excited, man. Tomorrow's game, I'll probably be downstairs watching it, so I can relax. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
If I'm the Commanders, anything, you have momentum already on your side, my guy. If I'm gonna talk that
Yeah,
shit,
y'all beat the #1 seed.
it's gonna be in the locker room to my guys, not to the media.
Mhm.
Why? Because the momentum is already on my side. I don't need the media trying to hold us now to an expectation that if we don't meet, we're gonna get burnt.
Mm-hmm.
But I got the Eagles. Let's go.
Sorry, I had to unplug
And
this.
AJ Brown is gonna have a hell of a game. Calling it now.
All righty, and the last game that we have for this Sunday for the conference championship finals, we have on Sunday, January 26th at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We have the Bills versus the Chiefs. I just got pinned on my white freaking sweatpants because I was trying to fix my posture and my pin was open.
This is something that I don't know. I don't know who to go
I'm
with.
going Bills.
I think I'm gonna go Bills too, just because I don't want to see the Chiefs back in the Super Bowl. So I go Bills.
June, who you going? June, who are you going?
Tough.
Who are you going? You had a week and a half to think about this.
I know, but you guys just messed me up.
Who are you going?
I'm going Bills.
Okay. You guys excited about this game? They have Kansas City favored by 2.5 points.
It went up. They had them only favored by 1.5. It went up. I think the way the Chiefs, the way the Bills win is if they do exactly what they did in the regular season, keep the pressure. They got to put up 30 points or more. They're not going to win the game with 20 something. I would not leave it to a single possession score. I'm trying to go up by 2 scores and keep a 2 score all the time, forcing Mahomes to throw the ball. They had 2 interceptions on Mahomes in the regular seasons. The Bills ended up being the team with the most takeaways with 35, and they only gave it up 8 times. So um, this is Josh Allen's moment. And if you're going to get Mahomes, I think this is the time to do it. His numbers were horrible this year. He wasn't the best quarterback in the league. He wasn't even no, I think if you're going to get him, this is the time to get him. But you got to play a perfect game.
Come on, DeMar Hamlin. Show him why you're comeback player of the year.
Yeah, right. He needs to walk in the air. And he took some hits on defense. I heard Rap's not playing because he hurt his back against the Ravens. So he might not.
Yep.
And if he's
Come on,
not
DeMar
playing,
Hamlin. Show him why you're a nominee. Show him why you should win the fifth or comeback player of the year.
so it's going to be interesting to see what they do. But that's it, right, Bree?
Yep, that is all we have. We have football tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be fun. Tomorrow's going to be great. Football Sunday.
So
Yeah.
really quick, did you guys want to? I mean, what is your best head coaching job selection so far?
Honestly, for me, it's gonna be Mike Vrabel.
It's a tie between Mike Vrabel and Pete Carroll.
Yep.
All right, and Bree and I spoke about this earlier. Actually, I'm gonna go with the Jags. Jags head coach.
I think he's a great offensive coordinator. Me personally, I would have took the opportunity to be the highest paid offensive or the highest paid coordinator in the NFL. Um, because Trevor Lawrence has already been through 3 coaches and no success. And if now you have the potential of not being successful with that type of organization and that quarterback, and it's like you gotta go.
Yeah, because I gotta go pick up Ava. So
Okay.
yeah.
We'll continue this next week, y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for
I want
listening
to
to
say the
us.
coaching hires for after the season's done. So we can really dive into it and kind of like, really go into because a lot of people are getting hired right now. Nikki, I want Nikki on this because she's very vocal on who she wanted. And you said something earlier today, June, when we recorded. You said, I forgot which team didn't get the head coach they wanted, but they got another head coach, the Commanders. They didn't want Quinn. They were talking trash. And look, Quinn got him in the NFC Championship with a rookie. So sometimes it's not what you want, it's what you need. And, you know,
Because remember, she didn't want
Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson, and they went to the divisional rounds with him, you know?
The
So
problem in the Jags, and I'm gonna say this before we go, is the fact that it's the quarterback. The quarterback's the problem. It's not the coaches. It's the quarterback. They keep trying to fit a circle into a square, and it's not gonna happen. All right. Anyway, look, thank you for listening. Another great episode. Divisional rounds is over. Championship conference games are coming up tomorrow. Good luck to all the teams. I hope we all pick right and
go Eagles, go
subscribe.
Bills.
Yeah.
Bird gang.
Yeah. June didn't even know Vic Fangio got.
Love this camera, y'all. You always see this camera from now on. It's the greatest. Go buy this camera. If you don't have it, it is the Razer Keo camera. It is the best streaming camera. My dad got it from me. It's the same camera Kai Cenat uses, so go use it.
Looks nice. All right. Peace, y'all.